Good morning, good afternoon, good night. How are you doing? I trust that you are well, that you're healthy, and you're safe. My name is Sophia Elizabeth Lambert. I am a published author of two books titled Hope Deferred and Rise Up, Mentoring Boys to Become Men of Integrity. I have been doing a series on mentoring boys to become men of integrity. Today in our series, I will be looking at masculinity. Masculinity has been going around for quite a while in terms of just the study of it. We psychologists have been looking at toxic masculinity and masculinities. However, today I am looking on masculinity. Now, for me, masculinity is more than the physical appearance of a man, his strength, his power, a lack of healthy emotional expressions, or how aggressive a man is. I believe that masculinity encompasses it's a healthy masculinity. Um, so it's more than those things. Masculinity ought to be healthy, and by that I mean a healthy masculinity reflects the humanity of allowing men to cry without shame, to experience deep, satisfying love and affections in social and romantic relationships. Men should be given the opportunity or just the freedom to know that it is okay for them to cry. Yes, crying is also healthy for our boys and men. Failing for them to cry, it causes pent up stress. And crying, I mean, we all know that when we cry, it releases the stress, it releases how we feel, it releases all of those pent up feelings. Now, as society, we need to give men the freedom to be healthy in that regards, to cry, to release the pain that they have inside when they're hurting. Another thing I believe that we need to do in order to encourage healthy masculinity, we need to hug our boys to men frequently. Hugging is a healthy, non sexual touch which is needed. It helps them to be able to hug others in a non sexual way. It helps them to be able to receive and to give love through non sexual touches. That is a healthy expression of masculinity. A young man who grows up accustomed to being touched in a healthy way, like a hug, a pat on the back, a touch on the arm, a touch just to rub his head, a peck, a kiss on his cheek. Those are all healthy, non-sexual touches. So when he grows up, being accustomed to those touches, he will be able to touch his spouse regularly and to touch his children as well and to touch his friends, to know that it's a healthy way of communicating affection, it's a healthy way of communicating love to others. So when they are able to express themselves that way to their spouse regularly, and instead of being touchy and wanting to touch their spouse only when they need sex, or if they're being abusive. So we need to communicate or to teach them how to touch others and to be touched by others in a non-sexual way. When we foster that kind of expression of love, it is vital for them. It is vital for a man in the way he relates with his spouse, in the way he relates with his children. Therefore, as society, we need to change our mindset. We need to change the way we believe that a man ought to express himself, that a man ought to be. I am sure you are familiar with hearing, or maybe you have said it yourself, a boy being told, don't cry, man up, be tough. Boys are boys don't cry. Are you a girl? Why are you crying? Those are unhealthy communications. Those are unhealthy way of training or developing our young men and our boys, because when they're hurting. They need a release just as how everybody else need that kind of release to express themselves when they're in pain. So therefore, society needs to encourage healthy masculinity. We are, as societies, we are part of the problem in that in the way we tell boys and young men how to be, how to react, how to respond. No, crying is not a sissy thing, or it's not girly. They too have tear ducts. They men also were given the ability to cry. So it's a normal thing. It is normal. It is healthy for them to be able to express themselves that way as well. So we need a change in our mindset. We need to get rid of those negative stereotypes of what masculinity is and how a man should behave. Those stereotypes are affecting our boys to men. Their well-being it is being affected negatively. As society, societies, we need to allow them to the space to be human. We need to allow them to be able to give them the opportunity to acknowledge their vulnerability, because when they acknowledge their vulnerability, they're able to process how they're feeling. They're able to deal with how they're feeling, and when they're going through difficulties, and be able to ask for help when they need it, because mental health also affects men. And if somebody is unable to process or to just be human, to deal with the pain that they're feeling, to deal with the things that they're going through, that pent up emotion, what it does, it works negatively on the mind. It works negatively on the person's well being, and it can cause a deterioration of their well being. It can progress even to mental illness. It can progress into depression. It can progress into making them unhealthy. So, therefore, we need to allow them the space, the freedom to be vulnerable, to realize that they're hurting and how they can deal with the hurt instead of masking it with alcohol or masking it with um, sexual exploits. So, therefore, as societies, we can play our part in helping them to become healthy. Healthy masculinity can be seen when our boys to men know that they can express themselves and their feelings to others without having to hide behind a mask. As boys to men develop healthy masculinity, they will be able to be emotionally available to themselves, their family members, and others. They will be able to be comfortable with receiving and giving non sexual touches, hugs, kisses, even. They will learn to process their anger instead of reacting with violence and abuse. They will treat women and girls with respect and consideration. They will use their position to advocate for women instead of against them. We should encourage our boys to men to accept their self image as well. In doing so, they'll be able to develop confidence and appreciate their body type. This may sound strange to you, but the truth is that men too suffer from self-image. Some men have poor self-image, so they try to camouflage it. They try to get big. Um, they work out at the gym all the time so that they can get bigger. So those are some of the things that we can help them to appreciate who they are for and the way they look, that it is okay. It's okay if you're not bulky. It's okay if you are a small man. Everybody, we're all different. We were made different by the Lord Himself. He made us the way He wants us to be because of the purpose He has for us. Yes, our body type contributes to our purpose. Our body type is important in who we are. So as we help them to accept the fact that their body type is good, there's nothing wrong with the way they look and the way they are. It is also imperative for our young men to learn to discipline themselves. If you have listened to any of my previous videos, you will see where I've said that before. Discipline is a necessity in our young men and our boys becoming men of integrity, becoming men who are honorable, men who are exemplary. That doesn't just happen. It takes work. They have to work at it. So we need to encourage them to discipline themselves to change. And change is necessary because there are some destructive behaviors that needs to be changed. And that change can only occur when they work at making the changes. Therefore, a man with a healthy masculinity will also not use his size, his strength, his power to abuse others or to take what they want from others. For a healthy masculinity to become their normal, our boys to men have to discipline themselves to develop healthy characteristics needed to form healthy masculinity, such as being truthful to themselves and to others. Being truthful is a very, very important character, to tell the truth. Because when an individual speaks truthfully, it demonstrates that that person is trustworthy, that that person is someone of integrity. So let us encourage our young men that a healthy masculinity includes being truthful. Remember, they are in need of our help. The older generation can help and should help the younger generation to become their very best self. After all, we are our brother's keepers. We are. We are the ones who should help them along the way. Let us be intentional in how maybe you as a parent, how you're raising your sons, how you're raising, even contributing to how your neighbor's son is being raised by in the way we encourage them, in the way we mentor them, because it is needed. It is needed. Therefore, let us help to make the difference in our society, because families need a change, societies need a change, and we can be the catalyst that will help to initiate the change in how our boys to men have been developing and growing and affecting society. However, today my talk on masculinity comes to an end, but you can purchase the book Rise Up, Mentoring Boys to Become Men of Integrity for further in-depth discussion on masculinity and several other things. Thank you for watching this video. I ask that you please subscribe, like, and even share the video. When you subscribe, then you will be able to see the other videos that I will be doing on mentoring boys to become men of integrity. And when you like the video, in Jamaica we say encouragement sweeten labor. So when you like this video and the others, you are encouraging me. And I thank you for the encouragement. Have a great day. Take very good care of yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.